All right, we're recording. So we're here with Ruan, or as he says it,
Ruan,
I like that. And how do I pronounce the last name?
Potgieter.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give that one a try either. But it's this is the great thing about having international CrossFitters on. I had never had anybody internationally, and then yesterday I had Bruno from Brazil and the UAE now, as well as you. And you guys are both rookies to the games, right? This is your first CrossFit Games.
Yeah. This is my first year going.
Incredible, man. Has it sunk in yet, or like what does that feel like?
Yeah, it's like so surreal. Looking at my coach now, when we're looking at flights and seeing the dates and confirming the flight times, it now feels real. I was talking to friends of mine saying, even after winning the semifinals, it didn't sink in, and only
Yeah,
now, once we're looking at like flights and accommodation, it's like, oh
yeah,
crap, like I am going. So yeah, it's very surreal. Like I can't
that's
believe it. I'm
awesome.
so excited.
It's super exciting, and it's exciting for me too. I'm actually a rookie. I won't be competing, but I'll be a rookie to going to the game. So,
Yeah.
uh, having connected with people through the interviews and stuff, it's going to make it a lot more for me, just so much better because I'm actually invested in the people. I'll be watching the events and saying, "Oh, there's Ruin, there's Bruno, there's Jack Rosema," and it'll be hard to decide who I want to win now that I've been getting to know
Yeah.
everybody a little bit. So,
Yeah. It's like, who are you going to cheer for? Everybody, one person,
right.
two people. That's quite
Yeah.
fun knowing a little bit more going into it. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then. So I know which event to cheer for you on once we know the events. I did see the event win, so I have a little bit of an idea. But if you had to kind of give an idea of what the best event, or you can even give an event you've had in the past, an event from semifinals, like this is my event. If we get this, I feel good. What type of event do you think is best for you?
I've generally always been like pretty decent. Again, like in my region, like
Yeah,
in Africa, I've been pretty good at like gymnastic orientated events.
that's what I
So
thought.
when I did have that interview with Dave, I was mentioning
Yeah,
that like I'm really excited just for the fact like I don't think I'll win the event. I think going like to the CrossFit Games, everybody is going to be good at everything.
yeah,
I'm not going to go and say this event's going to come up and I'm going to win it. I'm
yeah,
going to say this event's going to come up and I'm going to give my best, and I hope
yeah,
hope to do as good as I can. But I'm
yeah.
really excited for just the how can I say, the fact that we can do stuff that we've never ever been exposed to here in Africa.
Yeah,
When I mentioned there's like the handstand obstacle stuff, like
yeah.
proper ramps and stairs, like I'm really excited that I'm hoping that comes up because I've been working on that for years and I've just never had a chance to showcase
Wow.
that. So I'm really interested and keen
Yeah.
for that.
So
Yeah.
that's an interesting point you bring up. Just two things. One, real quick, did you have any gymnastics background or no?
No, I just
Okay.
really, I don't know, gymnastics and CrossFit, like toes to bar, ring
Yep.
muscle ups, handstand walk, those things
Yeah.
just came quite naturally to me, but I don't have
Got it.
any form of a professional gymnastic
Yeah.
background. No.
They did not come naturally to me. I started CrossFit in 2021, a little bit over 3 years, and I lifted heavy. I was a little bit heavier. I'm 175 right now. I'm short. I'm 5'9", and I was about 205. I did more powerlifting. Like I was deadlifting about 550, benching 325, which I
That's
cannot
big
do.
numbers.
Yeah, I cannot do at the moment. Now that I lost the weight, but I committed myself to CrossFit. And man, like learning toes to bar and ring muscle ups. I pretty much spent. I started last summer, and I pretty much had to spend about at least the whole summer to get pretty
Yeah.
proficient at them. So that's cool that you were able to pick that up right away. I know it takes a lot of core strength. That's probably something you're pretty good at. But the South Africa thing I want to talk about is you said you don't get exposed to that a lot there. I don't know a ton about CrossFit in South Africa.
Yeah.
I know that you're one of the regions that has less people that get to qualify. So I'm assuming CrossFit isn't as big in South Africa. Or is it growing or
Um, well, I would say like it's big, and it
yeah,
is like a sport that is still growing. It's getting bigger, but it's
yeah.
nothing. It's nothing in comparison to what's in America or what's in Europe or stuff like
Okay.
that. So,
Yeah.
we have like a few local comps. I'm part of a local comp that I'm part of the programming team and the organizing team.
Oh,
It's called
cool.
Squad Games. So we do like a small little competition. We host it. There is like 2 or 3 big competitions in Africa, but again, it's nothing to the scale of America. So like I said, like we do like general CrossFit type stuff. But it's nothing to the level in the event. Like we don't have worms, long CrossFit worms to do team workouts. We don't have like I said, the handstand obstacles where it's stairs and ramps. We don't have we don't have echo bikes really. We have assault bikes and competition and stuff like that, but we're not used to an echo bike or stuff like that. So it's just like what we see when we watch CrossFit online. It's like yes, it's so amazing, and I can't wait to just experience that.
That's
because
awesome.
We have CrossFit, but it's not to that level overseas. So it's really cool that I'm going to be able to experience that.
It's
now
awesome. Just getting to experience new stuff, especially with the way you guys day in, day out beat up your body and devote yourselves to this, almost like Olympians do, really. I mean, that's the level it has to be at. So when you do all that, it's actually kind of fun when you get to do something new and challenging to test everything you've been working so hard at, Wow, that's great. So what did you think about there's some strong opinions. What did you think about Chad when Chad came out? What are your thoughts?
My first opinion was like, oh crap. Because one, I personally haven't ever done Chad before. So I don't know what it's gonna feel like. I've done numerous box step ups in training before, different variations of box step ups, like with a barbell, with the rucksack, with the sandbag. I've done variations of it, but I've never done 1,000 reps in one go. So
that's a lot.
It's my first thought was, oh crap, well now it's now or never. Now I'm gonna get a chance to do it. And also before I really stipulated or formulated like an idea of my head of what to think about, I just knew and sat back a little bit and said, you know what, it's the CrossFit Games, it's Dave Castro. It's never for what I've watched over the years. It's never as straightforward as, okay, we're gonna do this workout. And then like literally the next day he had the interview with Emily Rolfe, and he said there's gonna be some twists or something. So I was like, I knew it. So
that's interesting. The twist, Dave Castro is very mysterious. I don't want to quite say a troll, but the way he does the open clues and stuff, I think he just loves like the chaos and the mystery.
I'm telling you now, with the open, when I first started CrossFit, I think it was in 2016, my first open. And I think it only became something in 2018, something like that, where he really actually started to throw hints or clues or whatever more and more. Elaborately.
Let me guess. At first you started trying and then you're just like, no.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, I'm going to analyze this so bad. Like I know exactly what this is going to do. And now my personal opinion is I think he's just throwing stuff there.
I do too.
And he's just sitting back.
He just sits back and laughs. He watches people come out with all these analysis, and he just sits back and just laughs.
Exactly. And it might have nothing to do with the workout.
Like he's the mushroom.
The comments. Yeah.
The mushroom. There's no way that had anything to do with anything. But, I think the interesting thing is I still wouldn't put it past him for some of them to have a little bit of meaning, because the third one with it was the dog eating the chicken leg. That one made a lot of sense. With the thrusters and the leg, a lot of people's guesses for that one ended up being pretty accurate. So
it was a little bit more spot on compared to you said, like the mushroom clue that he posted. But I still think he just throws out stuff there and he just like waits and see what people see because it's entertaining.
It reminds me of, have you ever seen the clip? Probably a pretty famous clip. I'm getting caught up on CrossFit Games history because I've only actually paid attention to the professional side of the sport for maybe the last 4 or 5 months. So I'm still getting to learn all this. And have you seen the one though where they do the whole run and then he says, "Turn around, you're doing it, you're going back again." And he tells Fraser, Fraser's like, "F off,
Fraser's
man."
Like, dude, screw you, like, haha, that's funny. He's like, no,
I'm serious, you really are going.
When I watched that, I was like, I don't know what I would have done in that scenario. I don't know what I would have done.
I know. CrossFitters, professional CrossFitters, they have something different in their mind. I'll tell you what, normal CrossFitters like me, you do that to me, like I'm just like, nope, I'm done. Like there's no way. You're already dead because you've already put it all into that first half because that's how long you think it is. And then it's like you got to do it again backwards. And then the people coming the other way, like, what is going on?
Yeah, seeing him run back, like what's happening? That must have
Yeah,
been, I think, as bad as it was for Frazier, like hearing that from Dave Garcia, I think it was almost like also as bad, like for the guys coming and he's passing, like, oh crap, now we have to go
yeah,
back.
yeah.
That's not a fun
But
feeling.
the interesting thing is, if you're a little bit further back, rather than kill yourself to try to beat somebody at the end and run really fast and take a lot out of you, now you know that you can pace yourself a little bit. So
Yeah,
um, but that's a perfect encapsulation of the type of thing that you might see at the games. He's going to want to change it up. He doesn't want
yeah,
you guys to know what's going to come at you, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
what about,
That's yeah.
yeah. What about the swimming? Is that something that you've got to do much or?
I'm very keen also for a swim. That was going to be the next thing I was going to
Mm.
mention. Like, I did do swimming in high school, but only at
Oh,
high school
wow.
level. Like
Yeah, yeah.
in university, when I studied, I stopped. Obviously, varsity just took a lot of time doing projects and studying and
Yep.
stuff like that. But in high school, I did do swimming, and I was on the A team for swimming.
Yeah.
And it was always just a good thing for me. Like, I just kind of kept going and using it every now and again. And luckily, like I've traveled to Egypt twice now to compete.
Wow.
There's been swimming events, and I think
Yeah.
in one or two other events that also we had to travel, there was some swimming events. So again, like swimming doesn't come up as much, but
Yeah.
I always do keep doing it once to twice a week just to keep it in. And
Yeah.
luckily, the swimming events that I have done, I ended up doing pretty well on those. So I am
Yeah.
very excited to do a swimming event.
Yeah. How tall are you?
Um, I don't know feet wise.
Yeah.
I
Let me
think
look at it.
in centimeters, I'm about 182 centimeters,
Okay.
181
Okay.
centimeters.
182, 181 centimeters in feet. So that would be okay. So okay, got it. So about 5'9.5", 5'10". So yeah, I mean
Yeah,
I feel like the people who are like right in that 6'1" range have an advantage. However, if you've been swimming for a while and have that background, you
yeah,
know, and have the right form, it's really anybody's game on the swimming. There's a few that are really good,
yeah.
but then past that, having the swimming background will definitely be an advantage.
Definitely help. I was speaking to a client of mine as well. It's like, I want you to get swimming now, just so when it ever does come up, you are much more
That's
prepared
awesome.
than just like finding out about a swim event and only have 2-3 months to prep.
Yeah,
Rather just get it into programming now, because you're aiming to be very competitive, very good at one stage. Do it now, get
exactly.
better, and get all the points you can when that opportunity presents itself. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case for me, and I really do hope the swimming comes in not early, but like middle of the competition would be quite nice.
Yeah.
I'm keen for a swim.
So is that, and forgive me for my ignorance here. Like I said, I'm just now starting to pay attention to international more. Is Africa still sending one person, or did they change it
Yeah,
to two? Okay, man,
no,
that's
currently still one.
so it's win or bust. So last
Yeah,
year I did look up a little bit of things. So last year, um, you thought for a while until they had the drug testing thing that you were third essentially, right? So it
yeah.
wasn't. So when did that come out, by the way? How long afterwards?
Geez, like
Was it
what happened? Yeah, what happened was literally the games was gonna happen. I think you had to be at the games. I can't remember the dates, but I'm just gonna explain it as is. Like the
okay?
Tuesday was registration. I found out that that the guy that came first got busted, and
Yeah.
that the second guy declined his invite due to an injury. I only
Okay.
found that out the Friday before the Tuesday of the games.
Wait, I didn't know that second part. So were you invited and not able to go?
Yeah, I got an
Oh
invite.
no.
I got invited saying congratulations due to
Yeah.
first and second place not being able to do a backfill entry came to you. I got that email Saturday morning at 6 a.m. The Saturday before the Tuesday of the
No.
registration. Yeah,
Well,
and
that I'd almost rather have not got the invite. That drive me
yeah,
nuts.
no, yes, that was not fun at all. Like that crushed me a little bit because like, oh, what I can go? No, no, literally, there's no
There's no
physical
possible
possible
way.
way
Like it's
of
like,
making it.
yeah, yeah. It's like now, let me ask you this: do you do CrossFit full time, or do you have a job as well?
My I try to do CrossFit as much as I can, but I do have a full time job.
Yeah, and
I'm a
most
personal
people do.
trainer coach. Yeah,
Yep. I mean, a lot of, I would say at least 80% of the people that I talk to do as well. So that's the thing, right? Like, that's expensive and it's last minute and you haven't been training for it and you've got a job. It's like, it just,
yeah, like you can't just like pick up and go. And like at that point in time, I didn't have my visa sorted because like how it's been in Africa for the
oh, I
last
see.
for the last 10 years in Africa,
Yeah.
there's mostly been one guy, the consecutive same guy that went.
Okay.
So when he won in person the live competition, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well done. I'm very happy he's gonna go.
Yeah.
The chances of him getting busted is very unlikely. And then it happened to be that, okay, shit, somehow he got busted for something.
Wait, it was him.
And
So
because
he's the one who always wins. He's the one who
yeah,
always wins. Okay.
he's the one who's been going for majority of the last like 10
Yeah.
years.
Okay.
So when he won, I was like, okay, even if something happens, I still came third. So the second guy will get the backfill entry. So there's really no need to get a visa or anything like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, it was a little bit of a bummer when that happened, but it's a new year. Got my chance.
Well, hey, man. And and the great thing is like, it's almost that much sweeter that this year, rather than get that secondary invite, like you won. You were the guy.
Yeah, me and my coach, we sat about it, and like was a big focus of the year and in the off season leading up to 2024. Now is that even me, it wasn't really him. I said to him like, I would prefer if I can within my means as best I can. I really want to try and not go to the games through a backfill entry. I want to earn my spot. I want to make sure that when I go, it wasn't by accident, it wasn't by chance. Like I did everything I could to. I took it, and that was the goal, and that was the mind space for the year leading up to this year now.
Now, when you went into semifinals, was your expectation that you were going to win, or did you think it was going to be close and you're going to need to have a good performance?
So it's always stressful just purely for the fact that it's not like there's 11 spots, like North America, East or West, I think. It's one spot. So it's like you said, it's make or bust. And it's always stressful for that because if you make a small mistake, you have a very small chance of kind of climbing back up into the leaderboard to make it to the top one and only spot. So it's nerve-wracking. But the mindset going in was that I'm going to do everything I can to be top place. So the mindset was I'm going to win. I'm manifesting this. I worked for this. I'm going to just portray and give my best. But it was nerve-wracking. Like, yeah, it's just nerve-wracking. But I went in with like trying to take the spot.
You're 27, is that right?
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, so that's like the prime. Like this is like peaking prime. I feel like, well, at least for me and in CrossFit in general, it seems like your strength can always steadily, slowly increase in your 20s and even into your 30s, like your strength. And then right around, 33, 34, 35, you start to slow down a little bit. So these next 5-6 years, I mean, that's the opportunity to just have your best years. Now, as far as your, how do you, as a first-time games athlete, how do you go in more looking to just know you left it all out on the floor, or do you have a specific goal or expectation? Like, I am going to make the weekend, period. Like, how do you go into that with your mindset?
So let me just try to answer the question without going on a tangent.
Sure.
The idea is the mindset, the goal that me and my coach have been speaking about is that we want to try and make realistically my first years. I'm going to push for top 20. I know I'm not going to be the number one my first year.
Sure.
I have no idea. What I'm gonna be hit with, what my body's gonna feel like. The volume, the intensity, like getting to know the competitors, stuff like that. But my goal is I want to push for top 20, and I'm gonna try push for rookie of the year. I just like to have something to aim for. If I shoot for something bigger than what I think I can hit, then happy. It makes me happy with the end result. So pushing for top 20, that's the goal for this year.
That's awesome. How do you train knowing that? So of course, everybody goes into games training, but at the same time, particularly rookies are susceptible to overtraining and to going in either tired, a little bit beat up. How have you guys strategized, or have you talked to anybody else to try to get an idea of what training looks like leading up to the games?
I think I'm very fortunate in the fact that I've spoken to Brent Fikowski. We've spoken back and forth a few times. Like I said, I've competed with him, and then from then we spoke about back and forth. But more so luckily the experience and guidance of my coach Ricky Heiser.
Yep.
He sent adaptive Lenshin. I don't know if you know Lenshin from the adaptive division at the Crossfit Games. He sent her to the games.
Oh, wow.
He's also sent in the past 2 other individuals. I think the Michelle Moran was the female he sent before.
Yeah.
So he has that experience of knowing how to prep and get the athlete to not overtrain. And with my whole time training with him for every competition we've been leading up towards, I've never went in tired or
Perfect.
sore or anything. So I fully trust that he knows exactly what he's doing, and that I'll be ready in my best possible condition performance to be able to compete at as best I can. So I'm not stressed about overtraining or undertraining or anything like that. I think the only thing I am stressed about is just the weather here with us. It's like proper cold. It's winter time now here by us.
Oh, I didn't know
Texas
that.
is going to be very hot. So to try and not get sinus or flu or get sick is just the big thing that I'm worried about. Like, I don't want to get sick.
That's a really good point, actually. It sucks. It's out of your control. Those things do happen. I mean, the odds are it won't happen, but I would that'd be something that would freak me out too, right? So, how early do you guys go there to get used to the time change?
We booked flights for the 31st, so the 31st of July we'll fly, and it seems to be that we'll somehow sometime on the 2nd of August we'll land. So then we'll have about
you'll be good
3-4 days.
Yeah, you'll be good. When you look online and they say you need a day for every hour or something stupid, that's not true. I've gone a lot of different places, and no matter how big of the time difference it is, well, I've only had a time difference of about 5 or 6 hours, but within a day I'm adjusted, so you'll be good. Do you actually train at all when you get out there? I'm sure you do something, right? Or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my I think it was Panther City CrossFit who reached out. They said that, listen, we're a facility that's quite close to the venue. Feel free to drop in, and we can accommodate you anyway. So I'm definitely going to drop in there just to kind of like move, shake off the jet lag, feel how I'm feeling. Try to just finalize a few last touches, move well, move fast, and then competition will start. So
man, that's great. Now, here's a question, not to be controversial, but looking at your events, I didn't watch it, so it could have been just that you had a couple bad lifts, but the snatch ladder was a little bit of a tough one, right? It looks like.
Yeah. So generally, like we spoke about in the beginning of the voice note, like gymnastics came easy to me. Weightlifting has been taking me quite a long time to get to a level. So I went into that event trying to just not rush, because I saw like a few of my mates that were competing left and right of me. Was going quite hard and aggressive. And I just went from the beginning. I was like, I'm just going to take it nice and chilled. My goal is just to finish the ladder. Because like maybe a 1 rep here and there, I'm actually not bad. But accumulative reps like that, it does take a toll on my back.
I bet.
So I just went in smooth, steady, finished much quicker than I did in practice. I think I finished 3 minutes faster than I did in practice.
Fantastic.
So I just went slow, smooth, and the goal was to just finish the ladder compared to where the other guys were. So I got a 9th place.
You were really consistent. You're nothing, no events, 9th place, 1st through 9th on all your events. So, and 3 event wins. Now, when you got the workouts a little bit early there, did you do all of them practicing before?
In some way, shape, or form. We tested, like my coach, like I say, the stimulus we tried to chase, saying like, we're doing a small variation of this, go fast, go slow, go fast, go slow. So we tested them. I would say yes, like I went through them, but we didn't do them all as like, okay, 51, go, do it as written. I played with it. I did a few things, tested, tried. And then the week before, there was really only two workouts that I did completely at once. And that was the second event that had all the front squats in it. And that one was actually the one I was least looking forward to. I don't know if it was a bad day in training, but like I really didn't do that great in training, and then ended up also going much faster on competition day. And the final event with the sprint with the heavy dumbbells, I was worried because I didn't have the dumbbells to practice. So I went to go and organize some pair of dumbbells. I bought 2.5 kilo plates, and I just taped it onto the dumbbell to make something feel heavy. So I was nervous for those two going into the weekend.
But you won that event, right? The last one. And then was it 4th on the other one, or the front squat one?
I also won the front squat one. Yeah.
Okay, so you won.
That's funny. I think I was also I won the front squat one, and I think I was. I might be wrong. You can correct me on the times, but I think I was 2 minutes ahead of second place, something like that.
Wow, that's fantastic. Oh, which one? The
front squat.
Okay, wow. So that's really interesting. So at least this time, you basically performed a lot better than the expectation from what you did in practice across the board, pretty much.
Yeah, from what I've seen, like in my experience, in my competitive like kind of journey from CrossFit, is like every online event I'm not great at. Like I've never actually really done well in open and stuff. The online's like I struggle.
Yeah,
but it's in person where I really perform much better. So
I like
I'm really keen the fact that I think I saw also another quick interview with Laura Horvath and Castro.
Yeah,
where he asked her, listen, so what do you think about like knowing the events prior, or we only release it like 20 minutes before you go on? And I agree with her. Like I would like for him to not announce too much more, so that we're all in the same boat. We don't get to practice, and we all just get a real taste of where you're at with what you got in, like all the information you got now. 20 before, you got 20 minutes, warm up, hit it. I'm quite also like hoping that's kind of more what happens.
It's so fun. It's so fun to do it that way. It's like that. Even doing the open workout, like it doesn't really matter at my level, but I redo open workouts because that's just how I am. I'm always, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Like I can, well, even if I'm just competing against myself, I'm competitive. So, and it's kind of like that, just getting it right beforehand. That's so fun because all there is now is that first event. You don't really know how you're going to pace it. You don't have time to strategize. You just go in and whatever you've prepared for, that's what you got,
Yeah. I'm also, it's fun because you don't know, you're going to go too fast. Are you going to burn out? Are you good at pacing? Are you good at executing something you've practiced? Like it's a very good different type of test. Doing it without practice, you got the information, you got the workout, you got 20 minutes, and now you're going to do it.
Incredible.
So I'm keen for that. I'm excited to see what they're going to do and how they're going to do it.
Yeah. Now, digressing just slightly, and we'll finish up here in a second, is so you had the snatch ladder there. Is it Olympic lifting in general, or if that was say we had done a clean and jerk ladder, would you feel more comfortable with that than a snatch ladder?
No, it's more like it's just I've always been like a smaller athlete, so it's just like strength in general has always been a little bit more difficult for me.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot more. I've had to put on a lot more time to be a little bit more competitive or closer to the other guys lifting. So whether it was a snatch, I'm proficient. I think I move pretty okay. I feel like I move fine under the bar for a snatch or a clean and jerk. But it's just like my frame is just a little bit smaller than the big guys. So the accumulation of reps is just more difficult for me. But like overall 1 reps, I'm not too far off.
No, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And then just one kind of fun thing I like to ask people. So when you started CrossFit, you said, was it 2016?
2016. That was my first open. Yeah.
Were you doing any other sports leading into that?
Leading into it, no. Like I said, I was so focused on studies and stuff like that I didn't have much time to do much. And when I found out that there was a CrossFit box opening, as soon as it opened and I got the opportunity, I jumped straight in because I knew about CrossFit before. I've watched some stuff before, but where I was staying, there was never really a box kind of close to me to go to. So 2016, at the end of 2015 in November, I joined the box, and then 2016 I did my first open workout.
Okay, so how fast was it? This is just a kind of a funny question I like to ask people. How fast from when you started CrossFit to that first competition that you had, what was the time frame there? Was it months or was it almost a year? Like you started CrossFit, and then when was the open? Was it pretty shortly after you started?
It was very shortly after. So I started in November of 2015, and the CrossFit Open was the February of 2016.
Okay, so this is I keep trying to figure out, like, people who do CrossFit, I'm trying to figure out how much of it is just innately they're built for this. Obviously, you have to work hard and stuff, but I'm curious about how good, how fast are they really good, right? So that first open, I'm pulling it up here. Well, let me ask you this. When did you know that you had a chance at being a really elite CrossFitter? How quickly in did you know that?
That's a very good question. I've always been quite competitive. Like I did rugby. I played rugby in sports.
Oh, cool.
I did in school. I went swimming. I did a little bit of athletics, and then when university started, stopped doing stuff really. So I think for CrossFit, it was in my second year.
Okay.
That I was like, okay, I want to really push. So like my first year was experiencing, doing all the new things. Did my first competition. Didn't do well at all, but like just did stuff to kind of like see what it's like, see what the vibe's like. And in 2017, I really tried to push a bit more. But it was only in 2019, 2020.
Oh yeah. I see that.
When I met my now wife, I won my first event.
That was the key. That was the key.
It was my it's my wife. I tell it to her all the time. I won my first ever big competition 2 months after I met my wife.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Makes you a better person.
100%. She does. I have to give her all the credit. She really does.
Man, yeah, and I see that jump here. That's crazy. Like I see, 6,000th in the world, which is, I mean, obviously, I'd love to be 6,000th in the world. 6,000, and then you'd make that jump 800, 700. Then you just keep getting better, So
yeah,
I can see it right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think it took me about 4-5 years when I started to win a bit more local competition, start to climb up the leaderboard in the open and stuff like that. So it took me about 4 or 5 years before I said, "Oh shit, okay, I could be quite good. I just got to keep working, keep grinding."
Yeah.
And now in my 9th year, I won my first opportunity to really go, now I'm going to compete at the games.
And even this year, when you look at this year, you made a really big jump, not just in the open, but I mean, in the open though, like you made a really big jump. So you must have known at the beginning of the season, all right, this is my chance, especially, one guy gets knocked out because of PEDs that was going to be tough competition. And then you do the open and you had a really good open and you already know that you're not good at online competitions. So in your head, you got to be thinking, this is it, baby.
This is it. Yeah, I was very excited when I saw that. Oh shit! Like because I used to in the beginning of my CrossFit journey. Like I also redid open workouts all the time to try to get a better time and all this. And then, like I said, when I started to get a bit better, I started to say, listen, like I'm not trying to peak for the open. I'm not even trying to peak for quarters. Our big focus is semis because it's just one spot going.
Makes sense,
so I stopped redoing open or quarterfinal workouts. I did them strategized beforehand, talked about it, the plan, and then just executed as hard as I can, one and done. And then when I found out, okay, listen, like don't get me wrong, I still push as hard as I can.
Yeah.
But I'm not so focused on the open, like I have to do well. It's just like, okay, it's open. I'm going to do it as hard as I can, see what the placing is, move on to the next workout. And when I saw I did decently well in the open this year, it was another confirmation that, okay, the hard work, the dedication, the support from my wife, my dad is helping me with a lot of mental game and food, and my coach and friends, everybody. This is the year I'm going to go for it all in, and I'm going to do everything I can to take semifinals.
Love it. Now, are you is anybody coming out with you? Who's coming out to the States?
Yeah, my wife. I'm very, very, very thankful that my wife is going to be able to make it. She originally wasn't going to because we were very worried about price costing. Obviously, Africa, the rand compared to the dollar is very weak, so it's very, very expensive excursion. So when we found out that there is a way, our parents got involved and said, "Listen, we'll help. We'll see what we can do to help your wife come over." So I'm really happy my wife's coming with me. My dad is coming with me. Also, he's been the biggest supporter for me from when I started CrossFit. He's been there for every competition. He's always backed me for everything, like take off work. Big supporter. So I'm happy that he's going to come with. And then obviously my coach and his wife, and then they have a kid that's coming with as well. So we'll be a group of 6 going. So it'll be great.
That's awesome. Now, just so I know, as we finish up too, I think I might have saw something. Are you running some sort of campaign for support for the trip at all? Did you have a shirt you're selling or something that I can post?
I'll send you a link. It's on BackaBuddy, so it's just a link that people can donate anything for.
Awesome.
that if that with that, yeah, it's literally just for the fact, like I said, like it's very expensive to go. So it's just anything and anyone that's willing to like just donate or contribute anything that will help you be able to go. Like some people, some friends, family, some people that I don't know, some anonymous donors, they've posted and donated into the link. And middle through July, I think I'll try see if I can like take that funds out to pay for the flights, to pay for the accommodation and stuff like that. Because currently my coach is paying for everything. So obviously like my portions and my wife's portions will go towards that. So I've got a link. It would really mean a lot if you are willing to help and contribute. That'll mean a lot to me. But I'll send the link in our chat, and then if you want to,
well, I'll definitely post it. I've only been doing content creation for a few months. I've done pretty well for a few months. You know, I've my followers.
100%. I went to look at your page. I like some of the posts you posted already.
Well, I do the comedy on the Instagram, and then on YouTube, I wanted to get a little bit more serious. So next year, I think I'll have a little bit more bigger platform to help athletes like you and post that stuff. I want to be able to contribute, but you never know, man. I've got some people who follow me pretty closely, so I'll do my best to get that out there, and hopefully you can get a little bit from it. So send that to me afterwards.
Really yes, will do. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's the normal thing in CrossFit. There's only a very select few athletes who really don't do that, and it's the people at the top whose face you see everywhere who've won the games and things like that. So what some people don't understand is that even though you are professional athletes training like professional athletes, you have full-time jobs, you have families, and you have to pay for these flights. It's hopefully one day, as the sport grows and as myself and others get it out there, there'll be a day where everybody just has that all paid for and you can do CrossFit for a living, because that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I've got like we speak about my wife all the time. Like spoken to her like when we met. Like I've got a dream to go to the games. Like I was the first and foremost. Before you know me, just understand.
Oh, okay.
I train a lot. I do this. My dream is to be able to go to the games one day. And when I come back, I also want to really try open up my own facility, open up my own box, and grow a community, stuff like that. So it is everything contributing towards that, and hopefully this will help be another
absolutely will.
So
yeah, it absolutely will. Like being a games athlete now, I would imagine will open up opportunities for you for more sponsorships, for as far as opening your box. I just have a feeling being a games athlete will somehow help you, whether it be investors or whatnot, help you get to that place where you can have your own box and you can do this full time, you know? So on your terms.
Yeah. I'm really hoping so. And then obviously for the next few years, like I do want to continue to try my best to keep qualifying to go to the games. As stressful as it is every time, just sending one person through, but hopefully then having that kind of support and background from a community and a box and everything will just make the trip always a little bit easier to keep representing. So yeah, man, hopefully it happens.
I hope you surprise some people. The thing that people might not know, just that kind of when it comes to in-person competition, you do a little bit better. Now the games is crazy, but my hope for you is that you come out and surprise some people and creep up that leaderboard a little bit more so than people may think. So I'll be rooting for that, man. And
I really appreciate it. 100%.
I appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you for your time and all your effort. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time, man. Good luck at the games. If I see you out there, I'll say hello.
Yeah, sweet. It'll be awesome if we can meet. I'll definitely keep an eye out, open to you. We'll chat on socials, but it'll be cool to meet you there.
I would love
to. Shake your hand, chat to you. I'd love that, man. Thank you.
Get a picture and everything. It'll be great.
100%. I can tell my wife, this is the guy I spoke to. This is the guy.
Yeah. It's always great to meet people that you've talked to, and I'll be rooting for you, man. You have a good rest of your day out there.
Yeah, sure, Grant. You too. Good luck with all the other stuff, and hope you have a good one as well.
Appreciate it,
man. Thank you.
See you later.
Cool.